Hello friends, welcome back to our channel Knowledge Era. In the previous two videos, I explained you that if I have a .java file, then with the help of Java compiler, we get this .class file. In order to execute this .class file, JVM first requests to this class loader subsystem, and with the help of these three class loaders, it loads this .class file inside the method area with the help of these three class loaders. I also explained you that just before loading this .class file inside the method area, JVM instantly creates this class object which will represent the class level details inside this .class file, such as how many fields are there inside this .class file, how many methods, the list of methods, the constructor information. It will represent this .class file with the help of this class object. Now in this video I will explain you regarding these two subsystem inside this class loader subsystem, linking and initialization. Now let's start with the linking subsystem. So inside this linking subsystem there are three more activities: verification, preparation, and third one the resolution. So I will explain each activity inside this linking subsystem one by one. So let's start with the verification. So friends, this verification activity deals regarding the security purpose. So you know that Java language is secured language, that is spreading viruses or malware inside this Java language is quite difficult than older languages. Like we often get the security alert like this, that these files might be harmful to your computer. We can't verify who has created this file, and all these security alerts are generated with the help of .exe file, which are generated by the C or C++ languages. So we doesn't get such a kind of security alert inside the with the help of the Java application. So this security is maintained inside the Java with the help of bytecode verifier inside the JVM. So what this bytecode verifier performs or does, that before loading this .class file inside the method area, this bytecode verifier checks whether this .class file is its structural representation is correct or not, whether it is well formatted or not, this .class file is well formatted or not, or whether this .class file is generated by valid compiler or not. Just consider this .class file, test.class file, which is generated by compiling the test.java file. All these texts are not understandable for us, I know, but its main purpose is that this bytecode verifier will perform the activity on this test.class file, which I explained that it will perform three important tasks on this test.class file, that is whether its structural representation correct or not, whether is it well formatted or not, and whether this test.class file is generated by valid compiler or not. If any of these tasks violates any of these three conditions, then it will throw this java.lang.verify error. For example, consider that this test.class file is generated by human and not by the Java compiler. So instantly it will throw this error, java.lang.verify error, or if I change any representation inside this test.class file, if I change any character inside this test.class file, instantly my program will stop and it will throw this error, that java.lang.verify error. In this way it maintains the security inside our Java application. So that's it. This was the verification activity inside the linking. So the next activity is the preparation. So preparation is nothing but whatever the static variable in our program, whatever the static variable in our test.java file, this static variable allocates the memory for this static variable and assign them the default value. Allocate the memory and assign them the default value. This is the main task of this preparation phase. Now what are the default values? For static int variables, the default value is 0. For double variables, default value will be 0.0. And for boolean variable, default value will be false. So all these default values are assigned to this static variable inside this preparation phase. Now the third activity inside the linking is resolution. So friends, resolution is nothing but whatever the symbols which are representing our classes are replaced with the actual memory references. Just consider this test.java file. Inside this test.java file, there are four symbols: student, thread, string and test, which are representing the classes. So this test symbol is representing the class test, interclass test. String symbol is representing the class test internally. The student class, the student symbol is representing the class student, and this thread symbol is representing the class thread internally. So just by compiling this test.java file, it will inside the method area four test.class file will be created: the test.class, string.class, and student.class, and thread.class. Just consider that this test.class is located at this location 000. String.class is located at this memory location 010, and student.class is located at this memory location 011, and similarly this thread.class is located at this 101 memory location. Now what happens inside the resolution phase? All these symbols which are representing the classes are replaced with the actual memory references, that is the actual memory addresses. That is, this string which is representing this string symbol which is representing the class string is replaced with this actual memory reference, that is 0001. Similarly, the student class is located at this 010 address, so the student symbol which is representing the class student is replaced with this 010 memory address. Similarly, all these symbols which is representing the class are replaced with their actual memory reference, such as this test.class is replaced, this test symbol which is representing the class test is replaced by its actual memory reference, that is 000. Similarly, thread is replaced with the 101. So this is the main activity, that is replacing whatever the symbols which are representing our classes with the actual memory reference. This is the main task performed by this resolution phase or resolution activity. Now we have covered this loading, linking inside the class loader subsystem. Now our third activity is the initialization. So what is initialization? So friends, initialization is nothing but whatever the static variables in our .java files, allocate, just assign them the value, the original value. That is, whatever the inside preparation phase, what we did, whatever the static variables were there, we assign them with the default values. And now inside the initialization phase, whatever the static variables are there, just assign that static variables with the original values. This is the main task of this initialization phase. So in the next video, friends, I will explain you all the memory areas inside these memory areas, and in the next video I will explain the execution engine of the JVM. So if you like this video, please do like, subscribe, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching this video.